Okay, I'm going to continue with replacing as much as I can tonight the hoses that I started last night. You know, this is the original. I'm sure that's been there since the car was new in 1984. A real mess, and that's going to be the replacement. The original one was completely swollen. It's all misshapen. It was squashy. We were very, very lucky not to have lost that hose and overheated the engine. Let's just have a look in here. This is where we just zoom in slightly. That looks very, very rusty down there. That's the water pump housing that looks quite rusty. So I'm going to, this area here, I'm going to clean that with steel wool before I put this hose back on. I don't want the hose going onto that rusty mess. And then directly above, so the hose will go from this steel housing from the water pump. The water pump's completely behind there, and it pumps straight up from the water pump into the thermostat housing, which is aluminium, and that's very corroded as well, all aluminium oxide. I'll have to give a few minutes of sort of rubbing with steel wool. There is a thermostat in here, but I'll be coming to that in a week or two. Just zoom out so we can see. Yeah, there's a thermostat in here. I haven't yet got a new thermostat, and I will be doing it, replace the gasket. When the housing's apart, I'll sand this down and probably repaint it, because it's a bit of a mess. And of course, this hose is an easy one. That will get changed in the next sort of day or so. I might even change it tonight in this one, but I'll come back to sort of cleaning that housing up. I just want to make the car safe, get rid of the vulnerable spots like all these dodgy hoses before I come to cosmetic detailing of painting. Now, there is another hose that comes directly, this one here. So let's zoom in. It comes from the water pump housing. It's quite long and it's quite thin, so there must be quite a lot of pressure in that hose, and it sort of disappears underneath all of my new injection for the LPG, and it goes under the original airflow meter and the air intake. So I'm going to have to remove all of this air intake to get to that, wherever that hose disappears to. I believe that hose goes to the I forget what it's called, but it's like a when you start the car, it's a bit like a choke. It needs to be able to sense the temperature, and I'm pretty sure that pumps hot water to a sensor behind here, which I forget what the name is of the valve that's there, but that one really needs to be changed, because clearly that one's very old, and if that one ruptures, we'll be in trouble. So let me just pop the camera in the tripod, and I'm just going to get a bit of steel wool and try my best to clean up this mess that I've got behind here. It'll probably take 10 minutes or so. I'm not going to do the whole lot on camera, but just give you a sense. If I can just set the camera reasonably well. Where is, let's have a look. From this distance, I can't even see it. Ah, there it is. Yes. Yeah. This is what I'm going to be cleaning. So let's just take a bit of this steel wool. I'm going to be wearing gloves. Got a big roll of steel wool. Actually, let's put the gloves on. I hate the feel of this stuff, and I certainly don't want to be cutting my hands up. But let's see how this comes out on camera anyway. But I won't do the whole lot, because this will probably take 15 minutes. And let's have a look. I probably need to split that. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see if any of this comes out on camera. Let's have a look. Just remove the camera a touch. There we go. Bit of a devil. There we go. Just to give you a sense of what I'm doing, I'm not going to do this whole lot on camera. There we go. Gosh, it's quite dusty. There's a lot of dust and powder rising up here. Yeah, because you won't be able to see it on camera, but there's an awful lot of dust rising up here. That's quite bad. And then I'll do the same up here. There's a slightly higher. This is going to the thermostat housing. Wow, there's a lot of dust coming off that. Now you probably can see that on camera. I'm nearly choking on it. But just to give you a sense of what I've got to do, I'm not going to bore you to tears with that, with the filming of that, because it is going to take time with this steel wool. I'm actually going to stop the camera here, turn the film off, but I'm going to continue. I think it'll take me about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, really sanding those two areas quite hard, and it's very dusty.